my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a nude ombre stiletto set. I started off by prepping the nails. First I'm going to push back all the cuticles. Then I'm going to take my 180 grit sanding band to remove the shine from the natural nails. You're going to want to have your drill at a very slow speed when you're doing this. Anything involving the natural nail, using the drill on the natural nail, it should always be on slower speeds. And then I'm just going to clip the excess dead skin from the cuticle area. I'm going to go in with tip application now. I'm using my 3XL coffin tips from Too Cute Nails. I use these tips a lot when I'm doing specialty shapes like stiletto or almond, just because the tips are already coffin, so they're easier to shape. But for my tip application, I use KDS glue, and I just make sure that the nails fit from sidewall to sidewall. And I hold them down for about 10 seconds to let the glue dry. After I cut down the nails, I'm gonna go in and start my stiletto shaping. The way I shape my stilettos, I do it with the scissors first because it's to speed up the process. But I basically just hold the scissors where the middle of the nail is, and then I clip on both sides and form that like triangle shape. As you can see, I always aim my scissors for the middle and then just turn them and cut both sides. But I'm starting at that middle point because I want it to be, you know, an even stiletto. I don't want it to be uneven on one side. So I always find the middle point where I want the tip of the stiletto to be, and then I cut on both sides. You're doing essentially is cutting the nails into a triangle, so all you just want to make sure is that the triangle is even. So the most important part to this is you're starting at the middle and cutting evenly on both sides. After I do this, I'm just gonna go in with my file and sharpen up the shape that I already made. I'm using my 100 grit nail files that I get from Amazon for this part, by the way, and I'm just going in and sharpening up that stiletto shape that I kind of already cut out. I'm then going to blend the tips into the natural nail using the same 180 grit sanding band. Then I'm going to go in with my Mia Secret Extra Bond Primer. I also use Mia Secret Monomer, by the way. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. I always use it. It pairs well with pretty much all of the acrylic systems like that I use, and you know, I've never felt the need to change it. But I'm going in with Mia Secret white powder to start off my ombre. And I just place the bead pretty much at the free edge and pat it down. I typically make these beads a little bit on the wetter side. You don't want them to be too dry and you just have a harsh line of white underneath when you're trying to blend it. So at the top where the free edge is, I kind of just only put a little bit there. Like I blend down the color, if that makes sense, so that when I do place the nude or the pink or whatever is going to go on top, it will blend easier. So now for that nude color, and I want I do this in 2 beads. The first bead I place directly over where I have the white, and this bead is going to be a little bit on the drier side. And you want to make sure you're not dragging this bead down, just lightly tap it, because then all the nude is just going to, you know, travel down to the bottom of the nail, and we need it there to cover that, you know, to cover the white to assist in that blend. So yeah, again, I use that first bead, I place it directly over the white, and then I just go in with the second bead, which is just going to be the cuticle bead, place it as close to the cuticle as possible and pat it down. By now you should be having a nice sort of blend effect. If after you finish the 2 beads you still want it to be a little blended more, and you know it's not looking fully covered to you, you can always go and add another small bead of your nude or your pink directly over where the white part is. I've had to do that before too. You could, you know, layer the nude. Sometimes the cover color you're using is one that's, you know, a little bit more translucent or not as like opaque or heavy, so you will need a little bit more product to blend it. Like, you know, it's not always your fault if your blend isn't perfect. Sometimes it's really just has to do with the combination of colors, and then, you know, you just work around it. Now the last step to this ombre design, you're going to want to encapsulate it in clear acrylic powder. You do this so that when you get to the filing step, that you don't file off what you just blended, basically. So it's protecting the ombre. I just went in with Mia's Secret clear powder. I use it for all my encapsulation really, and I just take one bead and kind of lightly cover the ombre, if that makes sense. It's just adding a extra layer on top. You don't want to use too much acrylic powder to do this. It should be a pretty light layer. Most designs that you do with acrylic, you're gonna want to encapsulate them. So things like ombre, marble, and encapsulated like flowers and decals and designs and stuff, that pretty much always gets a layer of clear on top just to protect it. For the filing, you're just going to want to make sure you file the sidewalls and then file the rest of the nail at a 45-degree angle to sharpen up that stiletto shape. And then I just run the file across and down the base of the nail to make sure everything is smoothed out. After I finish with that, I'm going to go in with my e-file to clean up underneath the nails. And then I'm going to use it to seal the cuticle, so I just go lightly around the cuticle and also down the base of the nail to make sure everything is smoothed out to perfection. I don't take long with my e-file because I try to make my acrylic application as smooth as possible, and then I do the bulk of the filing with my hand file. Some people like to do all of their filing and everything with their e-file. I don't. I think it takes too long and it's unnecessary, so I do the bulk of it with my hand file. So all I'm really using the e-file for is light cleanup. I clean up underneath the nails and I clean up around the cuticles, and that's pretty much it. After I finish up with that, I'm going to buff out the nails, any scratches that may have occurred during the filing, using these mini buffers that I get from Amazon. I'm going to link them in the description box below. Whenever I do stiletto, I like to keep it as crisp as possible. So when I'm done with all of the filing and everything, I just go in with my file one more time and just sharpen up both sides of the nails. And I do this very quickly, like literally 2 seconds per nail, and then that's pretty much it, just to keep that get that crispness back. This is an optional step. It's really not necessary. I just like, you know, sharp shapes. That's pretty much it for this. We didn't do any additional designs or anything. She just wanted a nice clean ombre. So I'm just going to go with my Koopa top coat and cure this for 120 seconds on both hands. And then that's pretty much it. See you guys next time.